Okay, very good. All right, so today we're going to be working on a rather extensive lab, and I first wanted to walk you through it, and then I'll hand it out tomorrow, and you guys can get started on it. But what it entails is a couple of things. One, how to break into a router for which we have forgotten its password. Two, getting feedback on somebody's mic here. Gang, what you're going to want to do is probably mute your mics. Let me show you something real quick. On your screen, you're going to have this icon up here showing you the mic in the upper left-hand side there. Okay, just click on that. It will mute your mic, and then when you need to say something, just unmute it, talk. Okay? So I would appreciate it if everyone would mute their mics, and then we won't have the background noise coming in. Okay, very good. I see you doing that. Phil, Mike Turner, Josh, you guys still have not. Okay. All right, but I'm not hearing any background noise either, so I take that back. I'm hearing background noise.
Is that still me?
I don't hear it. Now I do. I'm hearing background noise. So I can't tell where the noise is coming from. That's one of the downsides with Join Me, is that it doesn't tell you where that noise is coming from. GoToMeeting does a much better job of that. All right, so let me get back to what I was saying, and let's see, I'm monitoring this on another device. Join a meeting. All right, so first let's go to the network. Here's our network. I'm going to move my chat screen off onto the side here. Okay. So this is kind of a busy network, but again, if we think this through and we take it one step at a time, this is not a big deal, okay? It's not that bad, gang, all right? But let me show you, okay? To start off with, as I said, we're going to have a router that is locked up. We can't get into it, so I'm going to show you how to break into it. The other thing that I'm going to show you how to do is how to set up DHCP. Now, with DHCP set up, all of your PCs will then get an IP address, okay, from the DHCP server. So I wanted to show you how to do that to make it a little easier for you as you configure your network, okay? Okay, now, before we get into our, let's see, where am I? Before we get into now I hear somebody typing, and it sounds like a bird in the background. Something's squeaking. Okay. So let me pull up our file here. I'm going to give you an IP address here, gang. Okay. Okay, that's code. Where is the other one? There it is. All right. So, gang, we're going to start with an example here. So I'm starting with the address of 10.20.20.0 with a /24. Okay. And what we want to do is we are going to break our network up. So looking at our network, can anyone tell me how many networks or subnetworks I have in this diagram? Okay, so I'm hearing 7. Okay, good to hear, Anthony.
Yes, 7.
7. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Here's the question, gang. How many routers are there? How many routers do you see on this diagram?
2.
There are 2. And how many connections are to those routers? How many total connections? I see 4 connections on router 0, and I see 3 connections on router 1. So they're all together, okay? We only have 6 because the one in the middle is common to both routers, okay? So 1, see if you can see my, you're not seeing my mouse very well. So we've got 6, all right? Let's go back to the, and if we look at the /24, you can see that I've got 24 network bits and 8 host bits. So if I've got 6 networks, the question becomes, how many bits must I borrow out of the host bits in order to get my 6 subnets? So I've got 6 networks I'm looking for. 2 to the 2 gives me 4. So if I borrow 2 bits, it'll give me 4 networks. If I borrow 3 bits, okay, thank you, Sharon. If I borrow 3 bits, it'll give me 8 networks. Okay, so we're going to go with borrowing 3.
Right.
And if we borrow 3, that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to borrow these 3 right here, and then I'm only left with 5 host bits. All right. Which gives me a /27. Okay. Having decided that, we need to figure out what our the value of our rightmost bit is. Right there.
16.
That is a. Try again.
32.
32.
No, 16.
32, gang.
Okay.
Okay. So our block size is also 32. And based on the blocks of 32, we're going to start with counting by 0. 0, 32, 64, 96, 128, 160, 192, 224. But I only need 6 of them. So then I start building my table. And I identify my networks. Network A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now this should all look pretty straightforward. Okay. Your screen is fragmented, I guess is what Steve is saying, is dropping Professor. Okay. Well, I'm looking at my screen on my phone as well, just to see what you're seeing, and I can see everything. Everything looks good. You see what I want you to see. All right, let's continue on. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to assign my networks to my diagram, okay? And that's going to be A. That's going to be B. This is going to be C. This will be, and this may have been what confused some of you. Notice I have two switches that are connected to one another, okay? Switches that are interconnected, they're the same network, unless we use VLANs, gang. So this is all one big network here on the right-hand side. Then I've got network E over here in the upper left, E. And then finally, I have network F. All right? Everybody good with that? Any questions? Heather, if you lost the audio, okay. All right, so I've got that. Now what I need to do is I need to assign some things. So we'll go back to our text file. I've got this all set up. Let me move this chat window out of the way. Now I come down. All of our CIDR notations is a /27 and, okay, that's a 255, 255, 255, 224. So all of our subnet masks are going to end with the 224. The next thing that I did, I went around and I identified all of the devices that I need to really set IP addresses for, static IP addresses, specifically routers as well as switches. So on router 0, I've got F00, and you can see that right there, okay? Also on router 0, I have F01, I've got S00 and F10, okay? I need to assign IP addresses to all of those. I also have switches 0 through 5, which need IP addresses as well. Now, for router 0, port F00, what network is that on? That is on A. Okay. How about port F01?
B.
Okay, that is on B. All right. And 10, what network is that on? There we go. And finally, okay, serial port 00. Okay, serial port 00 is F. All right. Is everybody clear on all of those? Good to hear, Heather. All right, let's go to router 1. So router 1, F00, if you notice, is down here. Okay, so what network is that? That's going to be network C. 10 is what? That's up. Yes, it's going to be D. And serial 00 is going to be F. Thank you, Greg. Greg, you're back in town.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
back in town? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I got
you are back.
Yep.
Okay, good job. All right, now the switches. So switch 0 is on what network, gang? Switch
E.
0 is on. Say again?
E.
Switch 0 is actually on A. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Patrick. All right, how about switch 1? What is that on? D. Very
B.
good. Switch 2? C. Switch 3 is going to be, yeah, there's switch C. Switch C is D. Switch 4, where's switch 4? Okay, I wasn't watching. That is also on D, gang. That is also on D. Okay, and finally, switch 5 is going to be on E. Very good. Excellent. Okay, so now I need to assign some IP addresses, okay? So 10.20.20.0, and we said that this was going to be on network A, and because it's the router, I'm going to assign it for network A to the lowest one, so that'll be 20.1. How about for port F01 on router 0? It belongs to network B. What do you want to assign it to? Has to be network B. So we're looking up here, gang. Okay, I like the 33, so we're going to go with that. And then finally, we've got F10 on network E. So what do you want to assign that to? Okay, I like 129 is good. And how about for serial 00? Go with 161. Thank you. All right. Next. Router 1, network C. We're going to go with 65. Everybody good with that? Okay. Sharon, do we really want 64 or do we want 65? Network ID is 64, correct. So we can't use 64. We have to use 65, gang. All right. On F01, that's network D. So we're going to use what there, gang? 97. Thank you. And then finally, serial 00. Okay. We already used, that's on network F, and we already used 161, so we'll use 162. Thank you. All right, now let's do our VLANs on the various switches. Switch 0 belongs to network A. So let's do 5. Switch 1 on network B. What do you recommend here, gang? I like 35. 35 works for me. All right, switch 3 on network D. Yeah, let's go with 100. How about, no, wait a second. Did I screw something up here? No, we've got network C. Switch 2 on network C is, we'll go with 70. And then D, we're going to go with 100. And we have switch 4, which is also on network D. What do you want to assign to that? Okay, 105. We can do that. I'm going to just go after 101 if you don't mind. Keep it tight. And then finally, switch E or network E, switch 5 is going to be, what shall we do here? 130. How does that sound? Does that look good with everybody? All right. So we've assigned all of our IP addresses. Now we just need to configure our devices, gang. Okay? So this is real easy stuff. Okay? Once you get it into a pattern, okay, it's real easy to just duplicate this. So first off, I don't want that. Let me get my other. We've got this. So okay, come on. All right. So first thing we want to do is let's configure our routers. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'll put it down here. We'll work on that later. And this is just going to be 000. Okay. Got our enable password. We've got our line commands with our standard passwords. So we're just going to go with that for right now. All right. I'm going to take all of this. Copy. I'm going to go back over here. And I'm going to open up another, I think I'm going to open another text file. And we're going to call this device. And we're going to start off with, oh, come on, I wish I could type. Router 00. And I'm going to patch this in here. Now we're going to go in. I've got all these commands. Now I'm just going to fill in the blanks. Router 0 is my host name. If you recall, let's pull up that other piece here. Oh, shoot. Come on. Okay. So on router 0, we're going to have 10, 20, 20.1 with a 255, 255, 255, 224. Okay. And we're going to do a no shut. Okay. On 01, we're going to configure 01 to be 33, correct? Oh, what am I doing? Sorry. Let's take that away. Okay, does that look right, gang? We good? And then 10, we said we were going to do 10 was going to be 129, right? Do we need an F11? No, we do not. We're going to take that out. We do need the serial port, serial 00. The IP address there. We're going to go back, and as we look at our table over here, we notice that serial 00 is 161. Okay. Clock rate, 2 million, that's just fine. We've got our RIP. We've got our con, our VTY, and our offset, so we're good to go there. Okay. Do I need to do anything else? Can anyone think of anything else that I need to do? The only thing I haven't done yet is I haven't done DHCP, and I'm holding off on that. So we're going to take this. Okay. The gate, very good, Heather. The gateway will do on our switches, all right? So we're going to take this, copy it. Now we're going to come back down. So now, this is router 1, okay? And we're going to change the host name to router 1. And when it came to, let me just move a couple of things around. If we've got router 1 on F00, we had a what? A 65. Then on 11, no, 01, we had a 97. Do we have a 10? Do we need interface 10 on router 1, gang? No. Very good. Who is viewer 80? And then finally, for serial 00 on router 1, we need 162, right? So 162, very good. Again, RIP is the same. Gang, how do I sound, by the way? Okay. For a moment there, my network connection was dropping off. I don't know why. Okay. Okay, good. Very good. Anthony, thank you. No, we do not need the clock rate on this side. Remember, we set the clock rate only on one side, gang. Okay? Very good. Okay. So let's see what else we've got. I'm picking up somebody's microphone pretty bad here. You want to mute your microphone, gang. Either that or I have to do it. I'm hearing a truck in the background or a car. All right, very good. We're clear now. Okay, let's see. Where am I? So that is for router 1. Anything else? I think we're ready to go. Now, let's do our switches. So I'm going to copy this for the time being. And we're going to come down here and this is going to be switch 0. And switch 0. And this is going to be VLAN 1. Then I have to copy all of this stuff. I don't need the router. Yes, Steve, this will be up by tomorrow, okay? I'll have this video up by tomorrow. All right. All right, Heather, what else do I need in here? Okay, give me the command. You remember what the command is, gang? Okay. Yes. Is that the command? I don't think so. How about IP, default gateway? Okay. All right, now. So what's the default gateway for switch 0? Switch 0 is on network A, correct? That is correct. There we go. Okay. You only need to look at this, gang. Just look at this. So if switch 0 is in network A, then it needs an address to a router port. So in this case, 10.20.20.20 or 10.20.21. Okay. So I'll just copy this, put this over here, and we got it. Okay. All right. Questions? Are we good? All right. So let's copy this. Hold on. What did I just do? So now we do switch 1, switch 1. What is the VLAN address for switch 1? Thank you. 35. And what is the default gateway? Okay. Yeah, you're correct. It's 33. Right? It's not 35, it's 33 right there. Okay? That's the router interface that you're pointing to. So that was for switch 1. Now we're on to switch 2. What's my VLAN 1 address for switch 2? Okay, switch 2 is going to be on network C, isn't it? So that's going to be 70. Yes, thank you. And what's the IP address for C on router 1? Let's go. I'll tell you what, let's just go back to the diagram real quick and take a look. Okay. So there's the diagram. And you can, we're dealing with, what is it? Switch 2. So switch 2 is tied into port F00 on the router. Now, if we go back to our chart here, so we see F00 is 65, okay? That is our default gateway, and switch 2 has an address of 70. So we want 70, and our default gateway is 65. Okay, good. Now we're going to work on switch 3. See, if you organize yourself, okay, this whole configuration process gets so much easier, okay? So switch 3 was on network D and has an address of 20.100. And it has, okay, so network D, the interface right here, The interface is 97. Is everybody good? All right. Moving on. Copy. Switch 4. Switch 4. We look at the IP address for switch 4 now. Okay. It's still on network D, so we set it to 101. And the gateway is still 97. Everybody get that? Everybody good? Thank you, Anthony. All right. Copy. Last switch. Switch 5. Switch 5 has a VLAN of 130. Okay. And a gateway. Okay. Right here. Of 129. Are we good? All right, great. So let's, I think we've got everything. Again, the only thing that we don't have is we don't have the DHCP, and we'll handle that separately. Okay. All right. So we're going to take this file. We'll put this away, and take this, push this over here. Want to see if I can set this thing. I don't want to see the bubbles. Hide the bubbles. There we go. That's better. All right. So we want to configure router 1 first. So let's scroll all the way back to the top. Get our commands for router 1. Highlight everything. Control C to copy. No, we have not configured server PT yet, okay? When we talk about DHCP, we'll do that. All right, guys? Okay. So we'll go into our router. We'll go into the CLI. I got to power it up. Okay, fine. Let's power it up. Go into the CLI. The start file is not posted just yet. No, we do not wish to go through the dialog. And so here we are. No password yet. Config T. And now we're going to paste in our commands. And we're going to do a do, show, run, just to see if everything is okay. Oh, wait a second here. This thing is yelling about something up above. Oh, it appears I did not put in the password command. So again, I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to go back over here. We're going to press enter. Give me a Control C. Get back into global configuration. And we're going to do a paste. Press enter. Okay, so host name is correct. Password is good. Our address looks good. All addresses look pretty good here. Okay, good. So that all looks fine. I am just going to make one modification to this for the future. We're going to add an additional line here. So that is that's router 0. Let's go on to router 1. I want to put this change in here at the bottom. Okay. Then we'll copy everything up for router 1. Copy. Let's go over, open up router 1. It appears to be on. Enable. Oh. New pass was what I set it to. Config T. And now I'm going to paste everything in. All right. Okay, it doesn't like something in here. And it wouldn't surprise me if there are some characters out there that are not kosher. Just check this. Just get this, try this one more time. Just want to make sure that it's okay. Copy. Paste. Better. Okay. Much better. All right. So that is router 1. Now let's go on to our switches. First, let's put this change in all of our switches. Copy. So we'll do switch 1. Let's do switch 2. A lot easier to make the changes here than to have to go into every machine. Okay, so all that is good. Now let's go on to switch 1. Copy it. Here's switch 1. CLI. Okay, I'm not going to worry about auxiliary 0. Seems kind of strange though. Now let's take a look at this. The VLAN is set properly. Okay, so we're good there. Let's go on and do switch 2. Open up switch 2, CLI, EN, config T, then paste. Okay. Again, I'm not going to worry about auxiliary 0 because we're not even using it. Okay. Hold on 1 second. There's something I don't like. Okay. It's upset with the gateway. I think I know what it is though. Right, I need a dash. So IP, we're on switch 2. Paste that in. Okay, that's much better. It likes that. Okay. So edit, replace vault gateway with vault dash gateway. Let's move on to switch 3. That's router. Okay, good. Need to take this command, stick this in switch 0. Then I need to go to switch 1, stick that command in switch 1. Okay, good. Now we're on to, I think we already fixed switch 2. Let's go on to switch 3. And let's get switch 3. And we'll paste that in. Okay, the default gateway looks good on that. Switch 4. Paste that in. All right, so we're good there. And then finally, switch 5. And we'll paste that. Okay. So how many minutes was that? Did it take me to do all of that, gang? Hold on 1 second, gang. Mike, I got your text message. We're recording this, so if you're unable to get back in, you can watch the recording. It should be up later tonight, okay?
I ended up phone calling in. I got it to work.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, I'm sorry. Great. Well,
It's okay, yeah.
I just got a text message. All right, gang.
Thanks.
Did you have the chance to configure everything seen on the packet tracer? No, that's an old message. All right. I hope you can see the wisdom in creating the command file and then dumping the commands into their respective devices. If you do a little upfront planning, you can save yourself a tremendous amount of time. And even if something gets screwed up, it's easy enough to go in, correct the command file, and then dump it again into the device. All right? You'll save yourself a tremendous amount of work. And because you've actually developed a pattern, you're able to really eliminate a lot of your potential problems that you're going to have. Okay? So let's just shut this down. And the next thing that we want to do is we're going to go around to all of our PCs. And we are going to configure our PCs, and we are going to configure them for DHCP, okay? So if you simply go into the config and you say DHCP for the Ethernet, it will automatically say DHCP, so you'll be good, okay? Right now, it's picking up an address because it's not seeing a DHCP server, and that's fine. So let's go to this one, config, DHCP, close. I don't think I configured this one for DHCP. Close. Move this out of the way. So I'll let you go around to all the PCs and configure those as DHCP. Now, there are two ways that we can go here when it comes to DHCP. You can run DHCP out of a router, or you can run it out of a switch. Okay? We're going to do both. So first, let's start with the server. I've added this server device. It's probably the first time we've done this. In your config, I had to configure this thing with a static IP address. So I configured the gateway as 97. I got too many windows that are open here. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. So I set my gateway as 97, and my IP address for this is 106. Okay. I then go into services and go down to DHCP here, and I've got two pools. This pool is the default pool. We're not even using it. In fact, just to make sure that it does not get used, now I created this thing called Pool D. You just give it a name, and because it's on Network D, I called it Pool D. I identify what the default gateway is, which is going to be 97. Okay, so if we go over here, that's that right there, okay? And my DNS server, which I haven't set up, we're going to leave that for later, is 98. I then identify the addresses that I'm going to allow to give out. So I'm going to start with 10.20.20.108 through, okay, everything else up through the range, okay? And that range, we're right in here. So we're going to go as high as 126, okay? All right. Once I do that, I have to make sure that this is on and then get out. Let's go to one of our workstations. I'm going to run this. I'm going to do all right. That's not right. It sees my server, but it's not handing out the default gateway of 10.20.20.97. It's got DNS. It's showing the DHCP server. You think so? You think I have to release it first? Okay, well, I'll try that. All right, released. Now renew. Yeah, still. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Greg. Let's check that out. So let's keep it small, keep it down to 15. How did that get changed to 96? That should be 108. Well, later on, I'm going to show you VLSM on this particular problem. But for right now, we'll just get this thing up and running. Let's see if we can get this to work first, Anthony. But thank you for the suggestion. Let's try this one more time. So we'll do a release. We'll do a renew. Yeah, still. And it's still coming up with an IP address of 98. Should not be doing that. Let's turn it off, turn it on. Oh, this is what it's picking up on. I'd like to remove it. All right, well then let's try that. Let's just go with server pool. Let's remove the pool ID. We'll do server pool 10, 20, 20, 97, 10, 20, 20, 98. And we'll start this at 108. And we'll do a maximum users 15. And we'll do a save. All right, now let's try it. Release. Renew. There we go. So I'm not, I don't know, there might be something going on with the DHCP function within the server. But that's how we configure DHCP within the server, okay? You identify a pool name, you identify what is its default gateway, and what it's its DNS. And what it does, DHCP is going to give this information out to whatever machine asks for it. So it's automatically going to configure the default gateway and the DNS, and it's going to hand out an address starting with, in this case, 108. Okay? So all devices in here, okay? So this is the other PC. Let's try this one. So we've got IP config / release / renew. And again, okay, so we're looking pretty good. Let's check this PC. I think I configured it already. Yes, it's at 109, and the gateway and DNS are properly set. Okay, so now we don't have to go in and configure the individual devices. Okay. The other thing to do is to go in and to configure our router to handle this. Oh, wait a second. C password. I wasn't looking at what password it was asking for. All right. And now what we want to do, just let me get some of my stuff here. No, that's not what I want. I think this is it. No. That's not it. This is it. Okay, so we're going to grab this. Section of code. Then we're going to go over to our router commands. So here's router 0. And I'm going to stick this in the bottom. Okay? So the pool name, I'm going to say network A. All right? And the IP address for network A, the network ID, is 10.20.20. Anybody know? What's the network ID for network A? Is 0, right? Okay, right. I've got so many screens open. I'm trying to figure out where I am. Okay, so there we go. And what is our subnet mask? Excuse me. Okay, 224, very good. What is the default router for network A? Everybody agree with that? Right now, I'm just going to make it 2 and leave it at that. And then I'm going to exclude IP addresses 1 through 10. Okay? Let's take this. Let's drop this into our router, router 0. And we are in the global configuration mode. Let's paste it in. There you go. So it's going to start handing addresses out at should start handing out at 11. So let's now go to one of our PCs on network A. Go to the desktop, command prompt, ipconfig/release. Renew. And there you go. Okay. And the reason it picked 12 is because one of these others already probably got an address. Yeah, this one grabbed 11. Okay. So those are already configuring. Now, next, you've got network E and network B on this thing. Okay. So copy, paste, do network B, And what was the network ID for network B? Network ID is 32. Very good. And get something out of the way here. What was the gateway address for network B? No, 32 is the 32 is our network ID. And I'm going to exclude starting from 33 to 43. Okay? Copy that. Bring it back here. Bring it into our router again. Paste it. Okay. Now, that's not right. Oh, okay. No, that is right. And it's grabbing 44. Okay. Tell you what, let's just do this. Let's see what it comes back with. It's not set up yet. Probably DHCP has not been set up. So settings, we go to DHCP, DHCP. We're going to close this out. And now we should see an IP address for this. There it is, 45. All right. You also need to set it up for E, and you also need to set up a DHCP for network C as well. Okay. So, questions? Questions, gang? All right. So this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a different IP address range to start with. I'm going to give you the starting network. So I'm going to give you this network with all the connections, but the switches and the routers will be empty, okay? The server will also be reset back to its initial settings. And then you'll go through and you'll configure this thing. You'll break into the router 1. Then you'll configure your routers and your switches. And then finally configure your DHCP. First on the router for network D, and then, first on the server for network D, and then all on routers 0 and 1 for the other networks. Okay, picking up a lot of background noise, gang.
Don't disturb me.
Okay.
Real nice.
Will there be a written requirement? I think what I'm going to do, Greg, is now just give me the packet tracer file. Let's keep it simple. All right. Just give me the packet tracer file, gang. Okay, that's the only thing you're going to turn in. Okay? Because I can look at that pretty quickly and make sure that you've done what you've needed to do. Any other questions?
When would that be done?
That will be due next Saturday.
Okay.
Okay? Because I want to give you another class session so you can ask questions. and make corrections and get it right so that, by its due date, you should have everything up and running. Okay? Don't be shy to send me your packet tracer file. If you have a question, if something's not working, don't tell me it's not working, all right? Send me an email, tell me this is what's happening, and include your packet tracer file. I can figure things out a heck of a lot faster if you include the packet tracer file for me to look at, all right? All right, gang, enjoy your evening, and we will, we're not going to have our midterm next week. We will have it the week after, okay? All right.
Sounds good.
What should we expect on the midterm? The midterm will take us up to Chapter 6, okay? Chapter 6. Is there going to be a study guide? I think we call that your book. However, okay, what I would recommend is go through the material and write down any questions that you have, and we can have a review session. You ask your questions, we'll go over the answers, and I think that should serve pretty good as a study guide. Okay? All right, everybody. Have a good night. Take care.
Thank you.